Good evening, everyone. Tonight we'll talk about confidence in Hashem. Living life with confidence, faith and confidence, and living life without it, it's like living in two different planets. The life of a person that lives with confidence is so much better than the life of a person that lives with no confidence. It cannot even compare one to another. The main question is, in order for a person to have confidence in Hashem, first he has to believe in Hashem. He has to know that Hashem exists. The word to believe in Hashem, in this particular case, it's incorrect. A person has to know Hashem. V'yidatem ki ani Hashem. And you should know I'm your God. Not believe I'm your God. God forbid to say such a thing. Believe I'm your God. No, you should know I'm your God. You should know I'm watching you. You should know everything you have, it's from me. You should know you move thanks to me, you eat thanks to me, you have a place to sleep thanks to me. Everything is thanks to me. All the wars you won, it's thanks to me. All the wars you lost is because of me. When you're sick, it's me. When you become healthy, it's also me. And everything I do is also depend on how you behave. You behave well, I have more incentive to benefit you. You ignore me or rebel against me, eventually you pay the price. No surprises here. It's a pretty accurate system. Very accurate, not pretty. Very accurate system. It just can go wrong. The only difference is that if you click on a computer, you know what's going to be next. You click here, it's going to be yellow screen. You click here, it's going to be red. Immediately, instantly. Before you type, you know what letter is going to be on the screen. You're willing even to swear on it. If somebody say to you, what happened if you click on the A? You already know what's going to happen. You say, it's going to be A. This is the shape of the A. You say, I bet you it will not be A, it will be Z. You say, what are you talking about? It's going to be A. You say, let's bet. You put your money because you know it's going to be A. You did it a million times. The difference between this and when Hashem say to you, everything is from me, that Hashem, at the same time He does everything for us, at the same time He's always busy confusing us. Why? He enjoys to see us puzzled and embarrassed or not sure or hesitate. What's His incentive? Why is busy all the time confusing us? The answer, that's the purpose of life, to earn, to have a test. There's a book of laws. There is promises in the Torah. There is hundreds of examples of what happened to the wicked people and what happened to the righteous people. There is plenty of material for every fool to know that that's the way it works, and even Hashem, whatever He say, everything can be proven retroactively when you check the last 3,300 years, just like the Pasuk says, your eyes saw what happened to all the Jews who followed the idol called Baal Peor. How Hashem destroyed all of them and not one of them survived. Which means that's exactly what happened. Otherwise, Moshe won't make a fool out of himself standing in front of 3.5 million people and say, all of you saw what happened to the liberal traders that betrayed their nation and their God. They were all destroyed. So what the people would answer, what do you mean they destroyed? Look at this guy, look at this guy, look at this, they're right here. What are you telling us stories, right? If I would stand here today in front of you and say, Baruch Hashem, all the Arab terrorists are dead from the world, finally, thanks to Hashem. And now I'm coming to convince you to be religious. I already lost my chance. Why? So this guy is hallucinating. He's a dreamer. I don't want a teacher like that. I want someone solid that stands on the feet and is realistic. He understands what's going on. You come to sell me stories? and then you expect me to believe your lectures? The idea is we have to function based on what we see and based on what we learn in a history. When we have a contradiction between what we see and what the Torah say, the rule is the Torah always right. What you see right now, it's a part of the process. You don't see the whole thing. Many people sometimes look up, but by the end of the process, they're all the way down. Many people look down right now, by the final ring, they're all the way on the top. If you judge every minute of their process, you will have 5,000 different judgments. Up, down, in the middle, losing, winning, hurting, sick, healthy, so many states. Bottom line, who cares? Bottom line, you made $1 million or you didn't make the $1 million. They have a show, I heard, people fight, who's going to win the $1 million? You heard about it or no? People fight, I don't know, they swim, they jump, whatever they do. By the end, they check all the tests, and one person wins, and he wins the $1 million, whatever. So sometimes he looks down, one person is in front of him, sometimes he's all the way in the back, all of a sudden he's in the middle. Nobody remembers all these things. In the end, everyone remembers what's the final state. You reach your goal or you fail, that's it. The rest is really not so relevant. However, it's not so pleasant. When in the middle of the process, not always it's pleasant. People that suffer a lot in this world, 30, 40 years of suffering. Do you know a person that calls every day morning, God, send me some more suffering, please. It's not enough. Come on, don't be like this. Be a little bit more generous with your suffering. It's not enough that I lost 2 businesses. I have 2 more to go. Why are you hesitating? Give me another punch. Why only this sickness? It's not enough. Usually, you don't find people pray like this. It's the other way around. Why did I get a ticket? 1 week is nudging Hashem. Why did I get a ticket? The answer should be, why did you get a ticket? Ask me why you're still alive. Don't ask me why you got a ticket. But we only look at the negative. Bottom line, when there is a debate between what reality looks like right now to what the promises that Hashem made in the Torah, you must stick to the writings, and you know sooner or later you will see it in front of your eyes. Why? Hashem never lies. What he promised, he keeps. Baruch Hashem is not a politician. If he was in politics, I would worry. But now, Baruch Hashem, since he never got elected for the Knesset or for the Congress, I sleep well at night. When he promised good, I know the good would come. When? He knows when. You know, I give you an example. We say every day in a prayer, Poteach et yadecha, open your hands, umasbiya lechol chai ratzon, and give every living creature what you want to give him. Ratzon means your will. And what do we say? V'ata noten lahem et ochlam be'ito. And you give every creature what he needs in the most perfect timing. That's the highlight. Of course, you give everyone, and we're all surviving somehow. We survive. But the idea is the timing. For instance, if a person has to do a bar mitzvah to his son next year, he needs, I don't know, $10,000, $20,000, whatever the bar mitzvah would cost. Tefillin, this, photographer, food, DJ, you know. He needs $20,000 up front. If he'll get the $20,000 right now, his wife will burn it in Macy's by the time the bar mitzvah comes. Right? No offense, ladies. So if Hashem give it to him now, did it do any good? His wife have another 5 sweaters in the closet, 3 more jackets, another 10, 20 rings, 15 more boots, and the bar mitzvah went to the garbage. The idea is to give them the money 1 week before the bar mitzvah that she doesn't have time to spend. Or at least she has mercy on the boy. Say, I know I like these boots, but what's going to be with Itzi? He needs a bar mitzvah. So the idea is the timing. The timing, that's everything in life. Even people in the stock market, they tell you, every second change everything. It's all about timing. You know when to buy, when to sell. It's a matter of seconds. So, let's read some of the sources of the obligation to have confidence in Hashem. First step, person has to know Hashem made the world. Let's go one step at a time. Please follow me. Step number one, to know with no doubt whatsoever that Hashem created the world. Step number two, not only Hashem created the world, from the minute He created the world until this second and until the end of time, He supervised the world in Hashgacha, in a complete divine supervision, and never ever neglected the world even 1 second. Every inch of the world, every part of this world and upper worlds, every inch in every place in space in the universe is supervised by Him. All the galaxies, all the asteroids who breaks and fall, what's going to hit another star, what's going to miss, everything is calculated. Third step, now when we know He created, and He's still here and supervised. Third thing we have to know is that He cares very much what people do. Very, very much He cares. He cares when Gentiles do certain things. He does care. But He cares a lot more when the Jews do certain things, for good and for bad. So therefore, we as Jews have to know the liability. How serious is our job here in the creation? Because if what I'm going to say next, or what I'm going to do next, or where I'm going to step into next, makes him upset or bothers him, or make him angry, or made him disappointed, you have to find the right word. It's hard to define it. But makes him disappointed from me, or I defeat the purpose of my creation, or I damage His world, there's many ways to define it, all of them correct. If I'll do something negative, which means He's not going to be happy with what I do, I have to think billion times before I dare to do it. And that's what we call in Hebrew, Irat Shamayim. Fear from heaven. Means from God. Fear. But there's two kinds of fears. There's fear from the punishment, which is a very low level of Avodat Hashem, when you only fear the punishment. But believe it or not, I would sign with two hands that all Jews in the world would have this kind of fear. At least no one would make sins. Here we go. The world will be a much better place to live in. But there is a higher level of fear. It's called Irat HaRomemut. Romemut means, Ram means lifted, uplifted, above, on top of everything. Romemut means that a person understands and recognizes who he's dealing with, who his relationship is with. I'll give you an example what I mean. There used to be a rabbi 1,000 years ago. His name was Rav Saadia Gaon. 1,000 years ago he lived. He was a very big rabbi. And one time there was a snowstorm where he was, and he needed a place to sleep, and he found a motel. The motel was owned by a Jew, and he walked inside last minute, but all the rooms were taken. So Rav Saadia Gaon, he doesn't go with the sign, I'm the biggest rabbi in the world. And there was no internet that you can Google. Samech Ayin, 5 million articles about Rav Saadia Gaon. It was a different world. Nobody knows. The Rambam can stand next to you in a shul. You think he's... you don't know who he is. Or is he going to say, oh, you know who I am? I'm the greatest rabbi in the world. No. Nobody knew. People knew there is a Rambam. People knew there is Rav Saadia Gaon. People knew there is Rashi. How many people saw him? People of his town. That's it. The rest of the world have no idea how he looks. People didn't travel with planes. So he came to the motel and they told him, we don't have room, sir. And he said, well, my other option is to sleep in the snow and freeze. I don't care where you put me, even on the floor somewhere. Just let me stay inside the hotel. So they told him, we're not going to kick you out. You can sleep anywhere you want. So he went and he slept on the floor. One corner on the floor, at least it's heated, the place. Then when the sun was rising, remember, there's no electric like today, 1,000 years ago. So you're looking for the sun to come in. As soon as it became light, one of the Jews recognized him. He saw him on the floor like this. And he started to scream to the owner of the hotel. What a disaster. How do you dare to do such a thing? The most important person in the world, you make him lay on the floor like a dog. You're crazy. You don't understand what you just did. He said, I don't even know who you're talking about. Who? Rav Saadia Gaon. Ma? Rav Saadia Gaon is in my hotel. He's in your hotel on the floor. The owner of the hotel ran quickly. Started to kiss his hand and started to cry. Forgive me, Rabbi. How am I supposed to know it's you? Forgive me, million forgivenesses. Please forgive me. I'm begging you. Please, please, please. So Rav Saadia Gaon told him, there's nothing for me to forgive you about. You didn't do anything right. He actually did me a favor. The place was taken, and you allowed me to stay inside. But you taught me a very big lesson for life right now. That's what the rabbi told him. He say, person deal one with the other, he doesn't know who this person is dealing with. So he deals with him in a certain way, a regular way. But when he finds out who he is, how it changes his entire approach and behaving and seriousness. If we only knew who Hashem is, how it would change the way we interact with him and behave towards him. So the idea is, the more a person learns the greatness of the Torah of Hashem, the more he falls in love with him. The more he's amazed by him. The more he knows about him. The more he appreciates him. When you put all these skills together, the person is embarrassed and ashamed to go against his instructions. What is it like? Like in the army. When you join the army, your commander is a person that is 1 month before you in the army. He joined the army a month before you. You are 18 years old, he's 18 and 2 months. That's how it is. No joke. It's called Memkaf. Faket Kita. 2 months ago, he was like you. Standing like this, don't move. They come with the car to his beard. You didn't shave. You're not a woman enough. They hear the pricks of the beard. Trial. Go by the court over there. They have to give you a punishment that you didn't shave like a woman. That's the law. So what's going on? You're thinking to yourself, this guy, I just saw him in a nightclub in Tel Aviv 2 months ago, now he's telling me what to do. It's funny how it works. But when once in a while a big officer comes, like he's in charge of half of the army, all the south, all the north, or even the head of the whole army, they prepare you a month for him. Everyone cleans with toothbrushes everywhere, put oil in the weapons, clean all the blankets, right? The majesty is coming with this show off like this, you know, and everyone is standing like this. People are afraid to blink. This is a parable, an analogy, how it works. If a person would only know who Hashem is, even to breathe he couldn't. The truth, reality is that a person has to praise Hashem for every neshima and neshima. For every breath he's taking, already had to stop and praise Hashem. But there's no time. Between one breath to the other, how many words you can say? But this is the reality was, that a person couldn't do anything in his life besides praising Hashem if he was honest enough. If it was possible. Since it's not possible and we are far away from being honest enough, this is the way we look. But there are people in the history that could teach us a lot. And this is what we're going to do right now, in the next hour. First, it says like this. Ashrei Adam boteach bach. Ashrei come from the word me'ushar. Osher, with aleph, not with ayin. Why osher? Osher with aleph means happiness. Osher with ayin mean wealth. Why they pronounce those two words almost the same?
Wealth brings happiness?
The answer is because 99.9% of the people in the world mistaken between the two words. If you take now 1,000 people, 999 of them define happiness as wealth. Give me 10 million and you see how happy I'll be. Everyone thinks like that. So the divine language is already hinting to you. Don't make that mistake. Even though they are sound the same, they're completely different. They asked Bill Gates when he was in Israel in an interview, you're the right person to ask this question. Does money bring happiness? You should see how serious he got when they asked him that question. He say, absolutely not. Nothing. It's just convenience. But there's nothing to bring, it's nothing to do with happiness. And then he said, when I'll die, I would leave my children only
$1 million.
only $10 million. They can buy a house in Ocean Parkway here. They want to, Mr. Gates Jr. come to the Syrian shul here. Shalom Aleichem, I want to join the community. So maybe you can give us, you can share tea over here. You give some tea. Hey, my name is Gates. We heard your father in the interview that he say only left you 10 million. You can't even buy my home. Go make us tea. I'm making a joke here. You get the point, no? A person that gave already $17 billion for charity would leave his kids only $10 million. I doubt it if he keep his promise, but the idea is that money does not bring happiness, like some people think, most people. So Ashrei Adam, Ashrei come from the word me'ushar, lucky, blessed. Ashrei Adam boteach bach. It's a privilege to reach the level of confidence in Hashem. Why? Almost no one has it in the world that we live in, especially in this generation. If you connect 7.5 billion people to a lie detector and ask them, do you have confidence in God about your future, about what's going to happen to you? Are you confident you're going to get married? Are you confident you're going to have enough money to eat for the rest of your life? Are you confident you'll be healthy? Are you confident you'll have children? Are you confident this and this and that? All these dreams that a person has. Even the people that would say yes, the machine will beep. Liar, liar, liar. People don't have confidence. One guy in the yeshiva, he came to the yeshiva, he was I think 24, 25, and he said to me, I just want to let you know, next week I'm leaving. I said, why are you leaving? He said, listen, soon I'm going to have to go on a date. And I'm going to go on a date, and they're going to ask me how much money you have. You have enough money to get married? I don't have any money. And I'm not 17. By my age, I should have had some money on the side to be able to get married at least, to rent an apartment for a few months. And I don't have anything. So I have to go and work now that I'll be able to save some money. So I say to him, how do you know you're even going to get married? His smile got wiped out. He said to him, what do you mean? Of course I know I'm going to get married. I trust Hashem that I'll get married. I say, so why are you so afraid? You say you have to prepare money, you're going to have children, you're going to need money for the children. So I asked him, how do you know you're going to have children? He said, what do you mean? I trust Hashem to give me children. Why not? I say to him, so you trust Hashem to find you a wife, and you trust Hashem to give you children, but you don't trust Hashem to give you a few pieces of papers, some money to feed them. You trust Him to give you a wife. You trust Him to give you children, but you don't trust Him to give you enough money. Realistically, let's look at the Jewish world. 13.2 million Jews. Did you hear? Most of you are older than 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, whatever. So you hear enough time, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, did you ever see a Jew that died from starvation?
In Israel, they say they're very hungry.
People are hungry, people are, yes, die from starvation. Did you ever see someone? People in Israel are unemployed for 2 years. They have 5, 6, 7, 10, 13 kids. Unemployed, no income at all. 2 years later, they're still alive. Not one of them died. Somehow. Somehow. The word somehow needs a serious investigation. But reality-wise, it's a well-known thing that there's about 100 and something thousand people that sits and learn Torah, and at the best case scenario, they receive $500 salary in Israel, when every one of him, his rent is double and up. The rent is $1,000 and up. He has about 6, 7, 10, 13 children. Religious people, Baruch Hashem, has children. No dogs, so they have more room for the kids. You know? So what's going on here? His rent is double than his monthly salary. He still has to feed 7 or 8 or 10 children. He still need to buy them clothes. He still need to buy them notebooks and pencils and things for school. He still need money for buses to go. He needs money. So on reality, when the month begins, he's in a deficit of about 80% of what he needs, in negative. 20 years, as the family keeps growing and growing, everybody made it. Not one person live on the street. Someone who is in Kollel, Avrech that learns Torah. On the other hand, people who kill themselves working 2 jobs, some of them had to go to live on the streets. Check. Reality. Sometimes in Tel Aviv they have a park, they come. Shalom Adoni. Yes. Poor guy, he lives in a tent. They come to his face with a camera. What do you have to say about Netanyahu and the government? The liberals, the lefty, they want it. So he comes like this, the poor guy, come, check where I live. But we never found anyone who learns Torah in this situation. Reality, it should be 99% of them like that. Reality-wise, all the learners of the Torah should have lived in tents or in the trees, right? Or in a garage of his grandma. Reality-wise, come to Monsey, which is triple on the expenses than Israel, right? The rent is double, health insurance, yeshivot for the children. In Israel, you don't pay yeshivot. Here, hundreds of dollars per kid. The Avrech in yeshiva receive between $500 to $1,000 monthly income. His rent is $2,000 and up, plus food, plus everything you want. He need between $4,000 and $5,000 to survive. At best case scenario, I know, I'm coming from the yeshiva world. Maximum he receive $1,000 from the yeshiva. Maximum. The yeshiva can't afford to give more. His wife work a little bit, take care of kids. Let's say she makes another $1,000. He starts with $2,000. His expenses $5,000. 15 years. It's going. Relax. It's going. Everything I say is 100% accurate. It's reality. Go and check. You don't have to believe me. Go and check. By the way, when you ask these people, tell me, but how do you live? So I don't even know myself. I don't even know. 3 days before the rent arrives, I don't have a penny. A day before, somebody comes and says, this is for you. I open, $700. I don't know. Hashem runs the world.
Yeah, you don't understand. They are real Jews. They don't want to share with you this secret, so you're going to do the same thing.
Rabbi,
I want to tell you, when I told you relax, I meant it. We had a guy in the yeshiva. I already said that story at least 4 times in the past, but it's worth it for you to hear it one more time. I'm giving you names. Today he lives in Israel. I even have his telephone number. He called me about 2 months ago to send mezuzot to somebody in Florida. The person that I sent the mezuzot is a rich guy, but he doesn't want to buy mezuzot because he's stingy. He doesn't want to spend $400 on mezuzot. So this Bachur Yeshiva who doesn't have $1 in his saving account told me, I'm paying you for the mezuzot, don't worry, send it to him. But before I tell you who this guy is, I'll tell you a story about him. 2 stories. His name is Lior Edry. Israeli Baal Tshuva. Grew up like a goy. One day he saw the truth, he became religious, he came to Monsey to our yeshiva. Tov. Now he's in yeshiva. He had $100 in his pocket. That's all he has. You ask him, please report how much your net worth. Obama, 20 million. Bush, 2 billion. Ahmadinejad, 50 billion. Gaddafi, 200 billion. Lior Edry, $100. Okay. He walks in the street, and a person comes to him with his letter. Maybe you can help me. I need money. He took the $100 bill and gave it to him. He said to me, I walked a minute. There's a gas station on Main Street. I walk by the gas station, I look at the floor, I see $100. I picked up the $100. Top. That's the little story. Now let's get to the main story. His parents came from Israel to visit their son that they know is in yeshiva. Now look, I told you the name. I'm not going to tell you something is incorrect. If you don't believe me, I'll give you his telephone number. You call him in Israel and ask if that's the way it was or no. Plus, I have another witness in Monsey that's still there. That you can ask him if it's true or not. He goes, one day his parents came from Israel for about 2 weeks to visit him. He found them a place where to stay in Monsey. One day before they go back to Israel, their flight is early in the morning. They have to leave Monsey between 5 and 6 a.m. When it's dark, he has to give them a ride to JFK. So it's at least an hour and a half ride minimum. So his father tells him the night before, Lior, did you organize a car? You have a car to take us? He said to him, Abba, Hashem runs the world. What do you have to worry about? He said to him, but you know, we don't need a regular car. We need a van. Me and your mother, each one of us has 2 big suitcases. 4 big suitcases. You, me, and her. You need a van. So he said to him, don't worry, Abba. Hashem knows what we need, and He runs the world. Just you have to relax and wait for His salvation. Now you have to understand the difference between him and his father is not the same league. So his father is thinking, poor Leo, what happened to him? I hope it's not going to get worse, losing his mind. We have 10 hours before we have to leave Monsey. We're going out to sleep, and he tells me, don't worry, Hashem will help. But this guy, unlike most people, has strong confidence in Hashem. Look how great life can be. He goes to sleep, no idea where he's going to get the van. They have airline tickets. He gets up in the morning. Every morning he goes to the mikveh, 5 o'clock. Under the yeshiva in the basement there's a mikveh. He goes to the mikveh, he's thinking, Hashem, where is my help will come from? He goes in the mikveh, another guy, Yemenite guy from Monsey, named Gilad Busi, still in yeshiva today. He comes into the mikveh, 5 something in the morning. How are you? Gilad, you have an idea where I can, 5 a.m., where I can find now in the next 20 minutes a van to take my parents to JFK? He didn't say a van, excuse me. He said, do you have an idea where can I find a car to take my parents to JFK? Now this Gilad on the side, until today, is a car dealer. He buy cars in the auction and sell them. He said, I have a car with a dealer plate. If you want, I give you the key. He said, oh, great, thank you. He said, here, the key is right there. He takes the key, comes out, minivan. People that have emunah in Hashem, He moves the whole world for them. Move the world for them. I have hundreds of stories like this, thank you. Hundreds of stories like this, but before we get to the stories, let's understand the principles.
Yes, questions, Rabbi?
Later, questions later.
It's illegal to drive a car with the dealer plates with the passengers. So you're telling us that Hashem forced him to violate the laws of the country, which is actually violating the laws of
The
Gemara.
question is, why you always like to ruin the stories?
No. Nobody started it. What's the problem? It's not me. It's about you, Hashem.
Hashem made every covenant.
Rabbi, I never like to argue. Ever.
Wait. Hey, let's move on. Let's
Always
move.
collecting money.
Let's move on. No questions. Kadima, let's go. So it says like this. Becha Hashem chasiti. Becha Hashem chasiti. I am under your protection. One more verse. Mi bachem yireh Hashem shomea bekol avdo. בשעה שישראל נכנסים לבתי כנסיות ואומרים לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא גאל אותנו, when the nation of Israel goes inside the shuls and pray to Hashem to save them, Hashem says, do you have righteous people among you that have fear from heaven? And they answer, Moshe Rabbeinu used to be, Yoshua used to be, Shmuel the prophet, Samuel, Shaul, David, Shlomo. But now, we're not exactly in their levels. But this is our fathers. And Hashem say, Bitchu bishmi v'ani omed lachem. You want me to help you? The condition is, you have to trust me. If you trust me, I will help you. If you trust me a little, I will help you a little. If you trust me a lot, I will help you a lot. Yehi chasdecha Hashem alenu ka'asher ichalnu lach. There's a verse. Your help to us would be measured based on how much we hope for your salvation. If I think I'm doing 90% and Hashem helps me 10%, that's exactly how it's going to be. I'm going to be a slave who works and make 90%, and Hashem will give me 10% help. If I realize He does everything, but I still have an obligation to do some effort, so I work a little bit, an hour a day, 2 hours a week. I try to make efforts, try to meet people. I make a little effort. Then He does everything for me. Everything He does for me. Now you may come and say, do you really think that if I'm going to leave everything that I do and just trust Hashem, He'll give me everything I make now by working 10 hours a day? The answer is absolutely. But there's one comment to be made. If you will pretend that you have confidence in Hashem, Hashem would leave you with your illusion. And then you come collecting. Can you help me? Can you help me? If you really trust me, everything will get done for you. You don't have to run, you don't have to collect, you don't have to do all these things. If you fear, you're going to buy a ticket, go to America and beg people on their shuls, help me, help me. Next month I have to marry my daughter. If you fear, if you don't fear the future, there's no such thing fear in your heart, everything gets done for you. Melechet tzadikim na'aset bidei acherim. The work of the righteous people gets done by others. Hashem doesn't want to bother them with nonsense. Focus on the Torah and the mitzvot. The people that have no confidence, they will take care of your needs as well. They want to work for themselves, let them also support you. I'll give you an example. The Rav Israel Misalant was one of the Baalei Emunah. Baal Musar. He was very strong in ethics, more than 100 years ago, something like that. He once came to the yeshiva and gave a speech similar to what we're doing here tonight. Spoke about confidence in Hashem. And he said, tomorrow I'm going to demonstrate to you how Hashem will feed us in the middle of the forest, not here in the dining room when we cook the food. We will take our Gemara, we'll go in the middle of the forest, we will sit there all day and learn, and I want to show you how we will have confidence in Hashem, and somehow the food will get to us into the forest. And all the students say, let's hope that this rabbi didn't become senile. Well, I hope, otherwise, it's going to be another Yom Kippur. Just came out of Yom Kippur. But the student, they give respect to the rabbi. So they go to the forest. Now there's two guys, Reuven and Shimon, we'll call them. They say, 10 o'clock already and no breakfast. Exactly what I thought, he said to him. Why didn't you bring food with you, you fool? He said, no, they see me take food, the Talmidim, they'll know I don't have emunah, don't have faith. Let's see what's going to be. 12 o'clock now. Breakfast, no breakfast. Lunchtime. Gling, gling, lunch, no lunch. Everyone learns. They say to him, listen, if we continue to wait here, we're going to starve. So what do you suggest? He said, nobody pays attention. You go and I'll follow you. We'll go to the yeshiva, we'll eat and we'll come back. If we wait for them, we'll be starving here. He said, okay, you go and I'll follow you. Quickly, nobody saw. They ran out, they came to the yeshiva, they ate, good. Now they starved, they're about to come back. As one of them say, hey, the Torah says, ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. You should love your friend like you love yourself. Well, how can we be selfish? They're all starving, poor guys. So he said to him, so what do you suggest? He said, let's take the bowls, all the food over here, and bring it over there. We'll put it by the trees, and that's it. So they took the potatoes, they took the meat, whatever they had, breads, whatever, they stuff it, they carry it, they came to the forest. Now the rabbi is facing the student, they come behind him, they put it behind the tree, they ran around, they see it, they learn. 20 minutes later, Rabbi, you were right. Look, Hashem gave us food. Rabbi looked, turned around. Wow, I knew you'll never disappoint me. So the rabbi was so excited. You see? The demonstration worked out perfectly. And now all of them, they laugh. Top. That was Monday. Friday, he gives a speech before Shabbat, before they go home for Shabbat. And the rabbi say, there are two students here that they're very wise and clever. They think the rabbi is a fool and they knows everything. When we came here to the forest to eat, they couldn't wait and they didn't trust that Hashem will give us food. So behind my back, they went to the yeshiva. They ate over there very well. And then they have good heart. They felt bad for the other people. And they brought all the food, put it behind my back, and fooled me thinking I'm lost my mind or something, that Hashem actually threw the food express from heaven. So they were surprised. So, oh, the rabbi after all is sharp. The rabbi said, they just don't know that because they are the only two here in this yeshiva that don't have any faith in Hashem, Hashem made them our servants to go and get us the food. That part they don't know. You understand? We, all of us, learned because we knew Hashem will supply. How will supply? You have millions of ways. When they didn't trust, Hashem said, you don't trust me, you'll serve everyone. That's how it goes. Same rabbi, he said to one of his students, you want to be rich? What's the problem? Buy a lottery card. You'll make millions. So Rabbi, many people buy and they don't win. He said, because they don't trust Hashem. If you trust Hashem 100% that you win, you will win. He said, Rabbi, is that so simple? He said, what do you think? It's easy to trust Hashem 100% with no fear? It's very difficult. If you get to that level, all you have to do is buy one lottery card. So these guys say, I have confidence in Hashem. You won't let me down. I know, I trust you. All days, brainwashing himself. Then what? He bought a lottery ticket. All week, he said to his wife, 3 more days with no complaints. Next week, I already put a down payment on a house in Great Neck. Relax. Don't worry. What do you mean down payment? We don't have 50 cents in the bank account. I already sent them a check, 500,000 up front. Don't worry. But we don't have a penny. By the time they receive the check and the lawyer signed the contract and all that, the check will be good. Don't worry. All week he makes order, he orders furniture, everything. He called the moving company, get ready next Monday. Top. 2 hours before they announced the numbers, the rabbi saw him. He said to him, no, how is it going with the ticket? He said, Rabbi, 2 more hours and Baruch Hashem, don't worry. As much as money as your yeshiva needs, I'll take care of it. So the rabbi said to him, listen, I also need money. I really have some problems. And I really need a lot of money. And the money that I have right now, it's a lot, but it's not enough for what I have a problem. I want to make a deal with you. I know that the price is $1 million. I'll give you right now what I have. I have about $500,000. And you please sell me the ticket. I'll buy it from you now. Would you sell it to me, please? Do me a favor. Sell it to me. The guy thinking, well, $500,000 guarantee. He said to him, Rabbi, okay, no, I'll do you a favor. He said to him, you won't win anything. He said, why? He said, you don't have confidence in Hashem. You're pretending you have. If you had confidence 1,000% that you're making, you would agree to sell it to me for $100 less? Yeah, well, why should I give you something for less if I know in 1 hour I'm going to have the full amount? Why should I compromise? I'm willing to take off because I don't have emunah that I'll get the full amount. I don't have emunah, I won't win. That's how it works. You have trust. Hashem says, because you trust me, and I know it's not easy with all the temptation and the test and the confusions out there and all the wicked people around and what's going on in the world. I know it's not easy, but if you'll make it to that level, everything you want, I'll supply. Don't have to even worry about it. Don't have to. But to get to that level, it's not so simple. Therefore, if a person pretends that he has emunah, Hashem won't send him. He will have to go and work and borrow. Why? Because he never really trusted Hashem. How do you know the level of your trust in Hashem? There's no machine to measure it. You can check your sugar level. You can check cholesterol. You can check all kinds of things. How do you have a way to check from 0 to 100 how much confidence you have in Hashem? How do you know? Some people, they think, Ani Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Nah, by me, I know 100% Hashem does everything. No worry. How do you know if he's right or wrong? Maybe he's a pretender. The answer is, if the person fearing the future, he doesn't have emunah and confidence. If he doesn't know what fear is, there's no fear at all. The kids didn't get married. No. What's the worry? Hashem knows what he does. Don't have money to buy a home? Not even worry. Tomorrow you're getting married, you still didn't buy a ring? Assuming she didn't run away from you already. You know? I'm not worried. Why do I have to? You know, in Muncie, there was few weddings, I promise you, that they made the wedding, and when the wedding started, the Khatan had at least $10,000 deficit that he has to pay by the end of the wedding, and he didn't have the money. And in the middle of the wedding, the money comes. There is one person, he walks between the people, Mitzvat achnasat chatan vekala. Chatan learns Torah. So the people that put $100 in, they get ashamed. They reopen the envelope, put 400 extra. Another one. Why? Say, well, he's right. Ma, Chatan, learning Torah. At least I have an opportunity to support Torah. If I'm not learning, at least let me support. By the end of the wedding, everything gets paid. How many people came to the wedding knowing in 3 hours the owner will come and say, pay me this, pay me that, DJ, and you don't have the money. But you trust on Hashem to supply. That's probably a world that you're not aware of. But it exists somewhere. And there are people who that's how they live. And everything is getting done for them. Everything gets done for them. Let me give you a few examples of the requirements. כל מי שבוטח בשמי אני מצילו. Everyone who count on me, not on the soldiers, not on the lawyers. He count on me 100%. I am committed to help him. He trusts me and the lawyer, I will help him half, the lawyer will have to help him out. He trusts 90% the lawyer and 10% on me, the lawyer will have to fight for him. This is the formula. Israel nosha be'Hashem tshuat olamim. The nature of the Jews, that they count and always get saved by Hashem for eternity. Again and again, there's no limits. Ribono shel olam, the nation of Israel. This is Prophet Yeshayahu, Isaiah 45, verse 17. He said, Lo tevoshu velo tikalmu. Amru Israel, the nation of Israel say, Ribono shel olam, master of universe. We always get occupied by the Gentiles. They torturing us. We are ashamed. Save us. Hashem say, I saved you in the past. Be sure that I will save you again. Everything is under control. The Midrash say, Rabim machovim larasha. There's a verse in Tehillim, in Psalms. I have a series about Psalms in case you didn't start listening to it. It may change your entire life if you listen to it. We already covered 20 chapters from the 150, explaining all the secrets behind it. What does it mean? The meaning of the words. On what occasion King David wrote it? What was his mental state when he wrote it? Which parts of the Psalms is good for what kind of tragedy and problems that we may have? So one of the verses over there is, Rabim machovim larasha, many painful things are to the wicked people. Ve'aboteach be'Hashem, and someone who trusts Hashem, chesed yesovevenu, a shell of kindness will surround him and protect him. This verse is a tricky verse. What's tricky about it? There's a big argument about the deep meaning of this verse. Literally, I told you what it means, but it goes a little bit deeper. There is an argument if the first half of the verse and the second half of the verse are talking about the same kind of person or about two kinds of people. The beginning of the verse speaking about the wicked people. The end of the verse is speaking about someone that trusts Hashem, is protected by a special shell of kindness, chesed, which means extra Hashem is willing to do to protect him. There are two opinions. One opinion is that the wicked people, their life is very bitter. One problem after the other. Every little thing bothers them. He has $100 million. Today was a bad day in the market. He lost 100,000. 1 week is eating his heart, smoking like crazy, going angry, destroying his family. Why? Whatever, you have 99 million. What do you worry now? The 100,000 kills him. He's angry, he's going... can't have day, can't have night. Can't eat, smoking like crazy. So wife's saying to him, hey, Moshe, relax already. Don't worry. He'll make it back. No. So what's going on? Even if he basically has everything a person needs, his eyes is always on what he's missing. Therefore, he will never have 1 hour of happiness in his entire life. He'll have good kids. Let's say he got lucky. He has good kids. Do you think he's happy? Of course not. Why my son is ugly? Why he has such a nose? Why you made him such a nose? Why you have to eat my heart? How I'm gonna marry this guy now? Why my daughter is 500 pounds extra now? What am I gonna do now? Everything that doesn't work according to his plan, he eats his heart. Doesn't have emunah, doesn't know what emunah is. Therefore, no matter what, he has basically everything a person dream about. One thing went wrong, that's enough. Rabbi machovim larasha. Pain, stress, Prozac. Why I take Prozac? I can't. Without it, I have anxiety attack, panic attack, depression, deep depression. So, the first half of the verse speaking about the wicked people. The second half speaking about someone who have confidence in Hashem. Technically, they're talking about righteous people. It looks like a comparison between wicked to righteous. You want to be wicked? Be ready for life of agony and pain and frustration and aggravation and disappointments. That's the life you will have. You want to elevate your confidence and your trust in Hashem? You will have a special protection from all problems. It won't get into your heart. That's what it looks like. However, some say no. The question is on the other half of the sentence, the second half. Does it also refer to the wicked people that trust Hashem to give them? Do they also have protection and they get what they want or no? That's a very big argument. Some, especially the Hasidim, they say someone who have confidence in Hashem, even Rasha, even wicked, Hashem is forced to give him what he's asking for because of the one good thing that he has, that he trusts Hashem. It's not something so simple to trust Hashem. You may be an arrogant person, you have a dirty mouth, dirty eyes, dirty behaving, Shabbos is not Shabbos, your stomach is all the way from here to Tokyo, but you have confidence in Hashem. You trust him. I'm not worried. I know Hashem will give me.
Why would he give the guy if he's a Russian?
Oh, so that's the question now. The first opinion say, why would Hashem give to such a person? The second opinion say, that's exactly the chidushir. That's exactly the news here. That you can be much more wicked than righteous, but you have one good thing about you. You have confidence in Hashem and faith that he will feed you and things would work out and you will get the deal. There are people like this. They're not such pleasant people. But they have this faith and trust and they go full force. They're not afraid. They open the business. You can lose all your life. Hashem won't do it to me. I'm not worried. Don't worry. I'm not worried. You also don't worry. But you have millions of reasons to be worried. You're not 100% good with Shabbat. Your behaving is not so great. You're not such a great husband. There's so many reasons to worry. Head to the wall. It's not worry. It's impressive. It could be two things. Pure stupidity or very, very incredible things about him. But Hashem knows if it's stupidity or if it's real. And if this faith is real, some say that this verse goes even to wicked people. One way or the other, we don't want to be wicked. We want to be righteous with confidence. Then,
but how can it be that such a Kikimuna in a person and he is such a wicked
I will only answer you if you lower the heat, please. First, have mercy on me. You're cooking me here every week.
I have 300 complaints and emails for the last week being called here.
There was Yaakov Avinu from the Torah was scared
Because of the
he said,
sin.
I might have sinned. So we see from that the proof that
Very good. So it says, the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat Kuf Lametet, 139, רשעים הם, wicked people, שתלו ביטחונם במי שאמר והיה העולם. Wicked people that trusted in the one that created the world. Even the thieves on the way to rob somebody, they read Tehillim. שיר למעלות, make sure the police won't see me, that the alarm won't work, the driver would come in perfect timing. 1 week is fasting and reading Tehillim, that the robbery would be successful. But he can't think, maybe I use this confidence and faith in Hashem not to be a thief. There's another verse, comes from the Kitvei Ramban, 750 years ago. Betach be'Hashem ve'aseh tov. Even though you don't have enough good deeds, and you know you're wicked, you know yourself, you know according to the Torah, you're wicked. Im kol zeh, even so, betach be'Hashem. At least work on your confidence in Hashem. Why? Hu ba'al harachamim ve'yirachem alecha. He will use more mercy with you when he comes to punish you for your wicked things. Why? Shene'emar ve'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Hashem has mercy on all the things he created, righteous and wicked. But how the wicked will gain the mercy? Righteous, they get the mercy by listening to Hashem. What incentive he has to punish them? They do everything correct. But why Hashem will have mercy on the wicked? Al kol ma'asav, I have mercy on everyone. Why? In one condition, that they have faith in me and they believe I will take care of their needs. Then it continue. It says, נמצא כי המאמין ייתכן שיראה שמא יגרום החטא. Why I don't like to answer your questions? Because I know in a minute or two I'll answer it anyway. Why wasting time? So it says...
So far you didn't answer. True.
Here I'm answering him now.
Okay.
You in the end, because you cooked me.
I like the color of your skin now, the video.
You know...
Like Aruba.
I hope you, I tell you what, you know the cannibals, they like to cook people and eat them. So 2 cannibals, they caught one guy, they put a net on his head, they caught him, hunted him. They brought him to the kitchen, there's a big bowl like in the army, you know, they make soups in a big bowl. So they put water, they boiled the water, they grabbed him and they put him inside. They're screaming. So he said to him, what's your name? The cannibal. He said, what do you care about my name? You're going to eat me now. He said that we know what to write in the menu. Then the other guy came, took a bag of rice, and he spilled it all in a soup. So this guy is screaming from the boiling water, and the soup is cooking, we know. So then one guy came and took a stick, and he started to hit him on his head. Boom. So he said to him, why are you eating him? He said, don't you see he's eating all the rice?
Remember, when it's hot and you're teaching Torah, it counts 100 times more the mitzvah.
I'll tell you why it's better to be called here. Because one person against 50, what's better, that the one suffer or the 50 suffer? If each one gets 100 times more, if I suffer, I get 100 times more, but none of you. But if all of you suffer, it's 50 times 100, 500,000 hours of Torah.
We don't have to be more tzaddikim than we have to be by the nature. So don't make it cold and make people suffer. It was war. One person suffer, the rest enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Tov. So it says like this. What's the difference between emunah and bitachon? You hear those 2 words a lot. Emunah, bitachon, emunah ve'bitachon. Apparently it has to be 2 different things. If it's the same thing, right? Why do we have 2 different words for that? Emunah and bitachon. Who can tell me here What's the difference between emunah and bitachon? Faith and confidence in Hashem. What's the difference?
Faith, you know Hashem runs the world. And bitachon is that He's watching you.
Don't make up things. Yeah.
Emunah, many people have. We know there's Hashem. Bitachon is, we know He's going to.
Emunah, in science, when you say I believe, means believing means not knowing. Actually, emunah, it's not knowing.
know.
Knowing, it's 100%. Emunah means believing. Belief, faith. Like you say to someone, I have faith in you, but you won't put your life on the line for him. He said to you, hey, Rafi, can you sign for me guarantor? I'm taking a car loan. How much? $2,000. $2,000. He said, what's the worst can happen? I'll be guarantor for $2,000. But if they say to you now, sign for him $20 million, then you don't sign. Why? Because you don't have 100% knowledge in him. You only have faith in him. The faith goes up to a certain level, 40, 50, 70. With that kind of faith, you don't sign your life for someone, right? So the scientists, when they say, we believe that's what's going to happen next month, everyone knows maybe yes, maybe not. But when the scientists use the word we know, then we know it's going to happen. They're not going to make fools out of themselves on TV. Same thing over here. Now we have emunah and bitachon. What's the difference? Listen, the difference is someone that is ma'amin be'Hashem always have the fear that he may commit a sin that would cause him to lose what Hashem wanted or was about to give him. So he has faith in Hashem, he has confidence in Hashem, but it's confidence with a comment on the side. What is it? As long as I don't mess it up. One or two mistakes I do, I'll lose everything. So he lives with the fear. But bitachon means, no matter what I do, I trust on you. Two different levels, two different channels. Rabbeinu Yonah, he was one of the greatest believers 800 years ago. On his commentary to Mishlei, Proverbs 3, verse 26. ואשר נאמר וירא יעקב מאוד ויצר לו. Yaakov was very afraid and under pressure. What was he afraid of? Genesis 32 verse 7. ירא היה מן החטא, פחד יעקב שיגרום החטא. Hashem already promised Yaakov that he's going to keep him and watch him and give him everything he needs. Why? After that he had to make a vow. If you give me clothes to wear and food to eat, I'll give you 10% of a donation. What? I already promised you that I'll give it to you. What do you need now to ask again? You have a guarantee. How Yaakov did not understand what Hashem promised him? Of course he understood. He was afraid after the promise, maybe I messed up. He takes away his promise because I did something to get him angry. So the answer is, he was always worried that maybe his action caused him to lose what Hashem promised. Then it says, Cherdat Adam iten mokesh. Translation, Harada means panic attack. Panic. Person is panicking. Under pressure, is hyper, is about to lose his mind from fear. What's going to happen next? Cherdat Adam, fear of a human being, will be used as a mind against him. Minefield, mines that they put under the ground and people lo aleinu go and explode. Mines. That will be used as a trap against the person, meaning it's illegal to fear. Fear et asher yagorti bali. Because I was afraid of this, that's why it came to me. There's a clear verse. Meaning, when we are afraid of something, we make the chance that this bad thing comes to us much higher than before. Hashem says, oh, you're afraid of this? You don't trust me? I'm sending it right away to you. So what's the solution? Not to have fear from the future. It's illegal to fear. I have a lecture on my website. The name of the lecture, it's illegal to fear. Illegal. It's against the law to fear. הבוטח בהשם יסוגב מן הצרה. Look how many proofs I'm showing you. And I'm translating the words to you. הבוטח בהשם, someone that have confidence in God, יסוגב מן הצרה. There's a tragedy, bullets, missiles on the way to him. Hashem picks him up. יסוגב is above the tragedy. It did not touch him. What got him to go higher? His confidence in Hashem. Meaning, if he was a good person, keeping mitzvot, keeping Shabbat, everything is fine. But he has fear from the future. He doesn't trust Hashem enough. He would not get saved. The fact that he had very strong confidence in Hashem and is now worried, Hashem saved him thanks to that trait that he had. And what's going on over here? So we see that it pays to have confidence in Hashem. Besides the great feeling that you never worry and you're not under stress, besides that, it's actually saving you from a lot of problems. Next proof. Mi ha'ish hayareh v'rach halevav. Who is the man that is fearing and his heart is soft? Someone like that does not deserve to be a soldier. Step out and go back home. Imagine if today it applied in the army. You go to the Israeli army, all the soldiers stands in line, first day in the army. Hair like this, earring over here, ponytail, before they go to the barber, to shave the head. Everyone is they're gonna get uniforms right now, they get the shot, they go to the barber, it's first day in the army, you get the shock. They give you blankets with dust, you can fill up this room 50 times with the dust. And some lice. 5,000 soldiers use this blanket, what do you expect? What do you think? Your parents' villa by the Israeli beach. It's history, my friend. Now it's a new world. So soldiers are very depressed. This guy has a girlfriend, he's gonna miss her. This guy he was working, making money. People are depressed. Everyone stands like this, like the end of the world came. And then imagine the Israeli officer say, soldiers, someone that is a coward, he is afraid to hold a gun and to go into a war and fight, please get on a bus. He leaves in 10 minutes back to Tel Aviv. What we have? By the time he finished the sentence, the bus would leave after 20 seconds, not 10 minutes. There's nobody to wait for. People killed to get on the bus. There's no room in the bus, somebody hanging on the back. What are you doing? But back in the days, when they announced, before we go to the war, anyone who was coward here can go back home. Nobody left. The soldiers back then were honored to fight against the enemies of Israel. Why? It was a holy army. Everyone Shomer Shabbos, everyone dress modest, everyone believes in Hashem, every day learning Torah, praying 3 times a day. Different army. You want me to be soldier? I'm very happy. No problem. Give me time to put tefillin and talit and to pray shachrit. Give us normal time to learn at least an hour Torah a day, otherwise the soul will die. Make the women either work separately than us or at least dress modest. What is this? Short sleeve, mini skirts, tight pants. We are religious people. We cannot be in this kind of environment. Make the food strictly kosher. Make one kitchen for dairy, one kitchen for meat. Don't mix between them. There's rules. No problem. Design the army in a kosher way according to the Torah. I promise you, you don't have to beg the religious people to go. Many of them would go anyway. Why not? If I can learn Torah there, if I can pray, I can put tefillin, it's 100% kosher like back in my home. Why not? Anyway, so it says, who is a coward that his heart is soft? The answer is, why a person is afraid if Hashem promised that we're going to win the war? Hashem is saying, I want to take revenge against this wicked nation, whatever the nation was. You're going to defeat them. It's a well-known what's going to happen. Everybody knows we're going to win. So why a soldier is afraid? Why? Why you even have to ask this question? If Hashem already gave you a promise that we're going to win, what are you afraid of? The answer, afraid that he made a sin between now until the war begins that would cause him to die in the war. What sin? Everyone was Shomer Shabbat. So no one is violating Shabbat. What sin can cause a soldier to die now? This is Torah. Speaking between tefillin shel yad letefillin shel rosh. He's putting tefillin shel yad. He made one bracha. He puts tefillin shel hand. And then he has to put tefillin shel zeh, and somebody spoke to him. And he started to talk, and then he puts this tefillin. You may come and say, okay, dates apply only to Sfaradim. Ashkenazim can speak. Why? They make one bracha on the hand, and they make another bracha for the head. So in between, there's no problem. Sfaradim, that makes only one blessing, and it's in the mind they have for both tefillin, because each tefillin is a separate mitzvah from the 613. The hand is one mitzvah, and the head is a separate mitzvah. It counts two. So the Sfaradim say, since it's even though it's two mitzvot, but it's the same kind of mitzvah, tefillin and tefillin. So we make one bracha to put tefillin, and we have both of them in mind. The Ashkenazim say, since it's two different mitzvot, even though it's the same subject, we make two different blessings. So what's the problem? You can talk between one mitzvah to the other. You make one bracha, borei pri ha'etz. You ate a grape. A minute later, you want to eat banana, so you make borei pri ha'adama. So what? You cannot talk between the grape and the banana? You can talk. However, if you make bracha, right, and you have to do few things like mezuzah, you put mezuzot in all your homes. You make one bracha, and you have in mind all the doors, because each door is a separate mitzvah from the Torah. So you have in one bracha to include the whole house. You cannot talk between one to another. You make bracha, you put the first, until you put all of them, you don't talk. You're busy with the mitzvah. The mitzvah is not finished yet. So the answer is no. Even though the Ashkenazim say two different blessings, it's still not allowed to talk between tefillin shel yad and tefillin shel rosh. Even in tefillin Rabbeinu Tam, when we don't make any bracha, we put it after the tefillah with no blessing, still not allowed to talk between yad shel zeh. The judgment was so strict that people were afraid to die in a war because by mistake they spoke between one tefillin to the other. Do you understand how strict is the judgment? So it says, anyone who knows that he made a sin that may cause him to die, now you may, if you're clever, you may ask me right now a question. What's the required question right now?
What if they did tshuva?
I just said that he shouldn't fear.
That's a good question. They can do tshuva right now. But there is a better question than that. What is it?
If you have faith in Hashem, you're not going to be scared.
If a person knows he made a sin that may cause him to die, right? Is afraid to go to the war now. So they say someone like that should not go to the war. Someone who knows he made a sin, he should not go to the war. Why? Because he may die. So the answer is, the question that we should ask, if somebody deserves to die because of his sin, Hashem care if he goes or not? A tree cannot fall on him in his backyard, ma. He needs to go over there to die? What, he can run away from your death?
No, but the thing is, he's going to be scared to die here, and because of him, the other soldiers can die because he will be not brave the soldier. That's an idea.
That's true, but that's not the main reason.
They see him die.
The answer is, let me first give you the answer, and then I'll make a comment about what you say. The answer is, if a person goes to a place of danger, his chance to die is much higher. Even though you're right, if Hashem wants to take me away from the world, even if I hide inside the safe, He knows how to reach to me, no? But the answer is, if a person put himself in a place of danger, he has a higher chance to die. And if he didn't die, Hashem takes away from his merits, takes away from his account. I use many of your merits to save your life. I have to deduct it from your account. It's like ransom. Why? Because why you put yourself in a place of danger? You have an obligation to protect yourself. Over here, there's one more reason, as he said. What is the reason? If you begin to act as a coward in the middle of the war, all the other soldiers will get nervous and scared. If you begin to run, 1 or 2 soldiers running, everyone else get panic and begin to run also. So it's danger for all the others. That's why they say, go home, better you go home now. Okay, then it says another verse. ואני בחסדך בטחתי, יגל ליבי בישועתך. I trust your kindness. My heart is happy from your salvation. Now you know that a person stands in front of Hashem. When you pray Shmona Esrei, Hashem שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. You arrive to שומע תפילה. ברוך אתה Hashem שומע תפילה. This תפילה, you can add your own request. Help me to find shidur, help me to close a deal, help me with my parnasah, help me with my problem with my neighbor, all kinds of problem. Find me the right thing, find me, whatever you need. So if a person praying right now, in the middle, he stands in front of Hashem, and this is what he said. Dear God, you know how much I trust you. You know how much I'm counting on your salvation. Well, who are you lying to? You know it's not true. Who has the audacity to stand in front of Hashem and whisper words of lies? Hashem, you know what an honest person I am. You know how my hands is clean. I never stole a penny. You know how modest I am. You know how much I hate sport. The last time I watched a game was 5 seconds ago. It's already tshuva, no? Between one kick to another, he's doing tshuva. Do you have the nerve to stand in front of Hashem in the middle of the prayer and make up lies? Nobody does it. You know how I know? You can do it when it's loud in front of your friends, because you want them to think you're tzaddik. But when you're alone with Hashem, who are you fooling? You're fooling me? Can't fool me. So it says like this. Yachel Israel el Hashem. What's Yachel? Meyachel. What's Meyachel? Hoping for. Meyachel. Yachel Israel el Hashem, ki im Hashem achesed, ve'arbe im ofdut. The nation of Israel is hoping for the help of Hashem. Hashem is full of kindness and mercy. He has plenty to give. What if we are hoping for Hashem? He will multiply the salvation. Harbe im ofdut. Fdut means redemption. Harbe, many redemptions. Because you're hoping for my help, because you're wishing for my help, because you're trusting my help, you're actually making me very proud of you. I'm going to double the salvation. Before now, I wanted you to get saved from the tragedy and break your arms and legs, but save your life. But now, because you counted on me so much, not one scratch would come to you. We find that all the pain that you should have had for the next year got wiped out because of 1 or 2 or 3 minutes of full confidence that Hashem will save you. How much is important emunah? If people only knew what a tool, what a weapon faith is. The doctors in the hospitals in America had a test, and they came with results that the cancer cases in America by the Jewish religious people is the lowest death, which means more patients get saved from this horrible disease more than anybody else. One doctor even said to someone I know, the statistic for you to get saved is only 6%. But don't worry, You, the religious Jews, have something special with your God. I'm sure you'll make it. I've seen it happening all the time. That's what he told him. We know it's not all the time because, after all, religious people also die sometime. But at least there's a much higher chance. Why people take medicine? It's no guarantee. To increase the chance to get saved. Why people go to a much more expensive doctor? Because his reputation is better than the cheap doctor. Not always, in this case. So you're willing to pay extra $100,000 for a 5% more chance to live, if you have the money. Everything in life is about odds. What's the odds? And he says like this. ראה עוני ועמלי וחסה לכל חטאותי ודע כי התוחלת אצולה מן הביטחון הזה יחזק התוחלת עד כי כאשר תקרב הצרה וירא מעוונותיו לא ישקול הפחד עם התקווה אך תחזק התקווה ממנו. Translation: a person that is in a very, very serious problem, very serious, is already gave up, surrendered to a situation where there's no chance to get saved. If he works on his emunah in Hashem and confidence to be stronger than the fear from the tragedy, the confidence would overcome the fear, and that's what will bring him the miracle to save his life. Few more examples we give because time is running out. It says like this. The Midrash say, "V'chanoti et asher achon, v'richamti et asher arachem." I will give salvation to the ones I choose, and I will have mercy on the one I will choose. Meaning, at that time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him all the rewards that are waiting for the righteous people. And he said, which one is this special reward for? There's something that was greater than all the other rewards. And he said to him, to the people that commit mitzvot. And he said to him, and this treasure is for whom? He said to people that raise the orphans. Somebody, parents died, and he picked him into his home and raised him like he's his own son or daughter. That's special reward for this kind of people. Every treasure and treasure, Hashem showed the prophet. And then he says, and this huge reward from whom? For whom? He say, someone that has merit, I give him what he merit. Someone that doesn't have, I give him from this big chunk of reward, I add it to him. When he has confidence in me. The actual confidence, it's not an act. It's in the mind. It's not like putting tefillin. Oh, I did mitzvah, tefillin. Lulav, I did lulav. Tzedakah, I put tzedakah. Confidence is in the mind, in the heart. It's a state, it's a mental state of a person. You can walk all day thinking, I know Hashem, you're going to save me, I trust you, I'm not worried. It's all for the good, I know I missed the flight, it's for the good. You know? So the point is, even though it's not actual act, it counts like an actual act, and Hashem add to your reward from a special bank of reward because of this confidence in Hashem. Then it says, the Chafetz Chaim wrote, in the name of the Gaon Mivilna, two legends, Midat HaBitachon enat tluya b'zchuyot. The level of confidence is not subject to merits. Afilu adam she'eno agun, even a not decent person, arrogant person, that improved his confidence in Hashem, the confidence is protecting him. The Gaon Mivilna is holding like the opinion that even wicked people, confidence is protecting them as well.
very dangerous, Rabbi. If you do all the Averos they want.
Yeah, but how can you be...
Everyone get punished for their averot. Don't get the wrong idea here. For the sins, everyone in the end get punished. But for the time being, the confidence is a shield.
But how can you be wicked if you have such a great level of emunah? Emunah means you fear Hashem. How can you be wicked? You said you will Mechalel Shabbat. You Mechalel Shabbat and you fear Hashem. It means I fear, but I don't fear. It means you don't have emunah. But you say such a big emunah, you're having a big, even a special reward for that. How can the person be wicked and giving special reward for not even fear?
One answer. People have evil inclination, and the evil inclination is not equal by one person to another. So for some people, every person has X amount of fear from God. 30%, 50%, 70%. However, if you have 70% fear, it's not perfect, but it's better than a lot of people. Depend on the level of the desire that you have. For instance, if a person doesn't have strong desires to make sins with the girls, doesn't have, it's below normal, what's happening today in the world. 70% should be more than enough to save him from sins. But if he has very, very strong desire, 70% fear is not enough to convince him not to go through the pleasure of the sin. Not enough. So it's a balance between two opposite powers. Once you elevate yourself to 90%, even that strong desire is defeated. That's explain why a person learns Torah all day in yeshiva, he leaves the yeshiva and he begins to talk Lashon Hara with his wife about somebody. How? You give up money, you give up career, you give up trips, you give up so many things to learn Torah, to do what Hashem wants. And in the end you murder a person with your mouth? The answer is because he has strong nisayon of speaking Lashon Hara, his level of fear from Hashem is not enough. But for other person it may be good enough. And that's why people with very high level of Yirat Shamayim, they basically don't sin. I know a few people like this. They just don't make sins. You do everything you can to catch them sinning, you'll never find it. Their level of sins is a minute a day that he didn't learn good enough. You understand what it means? This is what we're talking here about. Then it says like this. You should know, the Midrash Tehillim say, you should know, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah had trust in me. I only saved them because they trusted me. Daniel, the prophet, when they threw him into the lions, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they threw them to the fire. Hashem saved them from the fire. He made a miracle against the law of nature for them. It's not so simple. You can count on one or two hands how many people in history Hashem actually interfere with the laws of nature to save them. Daniel, the lions didn't eat for days. They come and lick his toes. They didn't eat him. Why? Hashem saved him from them because he had trust in Hashem. Elokai becha batachti. There was something that happened in Kesarin. There was one person, there was guards, police. They caught him because they suspected him from being a thief. He told them, don't hit me. I am friendly with the king. Don't hit me. When they heard, they say, okay, don't touch him. Maybe he's right. We're going to hit him. We're going to have problems with the king. We have to wait until the morning when the king wakes up, verify if the king is his friend, and if no, we'll take care of him. If yes, what can we do? In the morning, they brought him to the house of the king, and they said, we found someone who claims he's your friend, and he's coming, visiting in your house as much as he wants. The king said, son, you know me? He said to him, Your Majesty, you and I know that you don't know me and I don't know you. I mean, I know you, but you don't know me. The reason I told them that, because I have full trust in you, that you will have mercy on me not to let them break my bones. That's why I say that. I know that you, as a great king of our nation, with your mercy and integrity, will not let such thing happen. So I knew, since I knew for sure that you will back me up, that's why I told them what I said. Otherwise, they'll break my bones. The king said, don't worry, I'll cover for you. What made the king cover for an anonymous, perhaps thief?
Faith.
The happiness that this citizen in my kingdom appreciate me and trust me. You understand now what a great parable? Why Hashem helps people that are not so perfect? You trust me? I'll give you an example. Today we have a lot of fake Baba. You know fake Babot? They pretend they're Kabbalists, they fool people, they get money out of them. What is it like? The king and his queen sitting in a terrace, in a balcony, and there are soldiers standing by the gate to the palace. And one person came one day, and he brought fruits. He has a trial tomorrow by the king. So he brought fruits to the soldiers, and he said, tell the king that this is from me, my name is such and such. Tomorrow, he's supposed to decide if I live or die. So he got saved. He didn't die. So his friend that has the same problem, his wife told him, you should do the same. The difference is that the first one made sure that his basket went to the king. The second one came, and he didn't know who the king is. So he saw a soldier standing with beautiful red uniforms and a special fair hat, you know, like in London. You know, you've seen that over there? So he stands like this. This fool thought this is the king. You see a soldier standing like this. He thought that's the king. So he brought him the basket, he kissed his hand, and he said, Your Majesty, have mercy on me. And this king stand like this, the soldier stand like this. And the king from upstairs is watching the whole thing. So his wife said to him, look at this fool, you should chop his head off. So the king told her, no, you don't understand. He thinks he gave the basket to me. How can I do this to him? Even though he went to a fake one, a fake king, a soldier, he himself is a servant. But he trusts that this is a connection to me. How can I let him down? You understand? There was a husband and wife in the time of the Ari 500 years ago in Tzfat. They heard that everyone has to do something for Hashem. Use your talent to do something for the sake of heaven. Anything. So the wife said to the husband, you and I are two ignorant people. We don't know Torah. We hardly know how to keep mitzvot. What can we do for Hashem? They thinking, she said, I bake great chalot for Shabbat. I'm going to bake chalot for Hashem. The husband say, you know what? Great idea. So every Shabbos, she bakes 2 chalot, and he has to give it to Hashem. How do you give something to Hashem? He comes to the Aron Kodesh right here. He opens it, and he puts the 2 chalot next to the Sefer Torah. In the meantime, the shul has a gabbai. He's cleaning, he's preparing it for Shabbat. Every Shabbat, the gabbai checks the Sefer Torah, that it's in the right place. He sees somebody gave him 2 chalot. The gabbai. What righteous community we have. Someone put the chalot anonymously. He doesn't want to get honor. He takes the chalot, he brings it home. Baruch Hashem, they enjoy. Like this has been going on for months. One time, somebody over there saw that this guy opening the Aron Kodesh and he puts 2 chalot. He said, what are you doing? He said to him, I'm giving my weekly sacrifice to Hashem. He said, what? Who gave you this idea, you fool? He said, what do you mean? Hashem has been taking my sacrifices every week for 3 months. He said to him, wait, come, stand with me here, I'll show you who takes your chalot. The gabbai came, Baruch Hashem, nice sesame today. He takes the thing and he goes and say, you fool. Right away, the Ari HaKadosh sent somebody to call that person. He had Ruach HaKodesh. He said to him, you should know that what you did is a horrible, horrible sin in Shamayim. Hashem is so angry at you. He said to him, why? He said, this person is so happy. his fear and devotion to Hashem went up 1,000% since he started to give this chalot. Because he was so honored that Hashem is accepting my chalot. The fools have their own worlds. You have to deal with them in their level of understandings. What can you do? You mess up his dream. Now he's down, depressed, down to zero. He cannot even put tefillin today. You understand? That's like dealing with the children. If your kid, your father comes home and your little son draws something in school for you. A few lines. You're a businessman, you just wire $10 million, you receive $5 million. The little kid gives you a few lines, read. Say, Abba, look, I made it for you. What are you going to do with that now, technically? But, wow, you thought about me. Wow, I'm so honored. A smart father make a frame for it. Puts it in his office. Next to the certificate from Obama. But his son thinks, oh, my father really appreciated it. There was one father, his son came with a test that he got 100 on a test, and he wants to show it to him, but the father finished in his office, and he comes home and he has his office at home. So until 10 o'clock, he's still a workaholic. So the son, he said, Abba, look, I'm on the phone. Stay outside. 10 minutes later, Abba, can I show you now? No, I'm busy. Don't you see I'm busy? After an hour, the father gets a call. He doesn't recognize the number. Hello? He say, Abba? Who is this? Moishi. Where are you calling from? I went across the street to the neighbor to call you. He said, why did you do such a thing? You were right here. So I realized the only way to talk to you is on the phone. That day the father realized the damage he does. He made a rule. Business, once I step out of the office, the business is over. Finished. I don't care. Phone is off. There's time for everything in life. Besides, what do you think? That if you work more hours, Hashem will give you more money? Such a big mistake. You open a window for Hashem, it's plenty of room for him to push the money from there. He doesn't need 10 windows. Someone who keep opening more and more and more businesses, thinking I'm going to be more and more, what is it like? Someone has a huge barrel of wine, and he has one faucet, the wine comes out. And he attached another faucet. So now there's two faucets. It looks like a lot more coming. But it's the same amount of barrel, my friend. Just now come from two different stores. It was supposed to be for 40 years. Since you open another store, you're making double, but only for 20 years. Nobody makes a penny more than what Hashem wants to give him. What are you killing yourself? Extra work, extra this, extra that. Last thing for today.
If people stay home and do nothing, relying on Hashem, who's going to support the CD?
If people would trust Hashem and stay home, you won't need CDs, Mr. Genius. Everyone will be full tzaddik. No, we don't need CDs. What do you think? We enjoy to spend CDs and give them out. CDs is medicine for the soul. If all the souls will be cured, I will be the first one that burned the CDs. But in the meantime...
I read some parasha in Torah, and I remember two brothers were there, and the one brother is mentioned by Moshe Rabbeinu in his blessing even before the second brother, because the first brother was supporting the learning of the Torah with his money because he was a businessman.
Right.
So maybe by Torah you still have to work and support Torah, even in the time of the Moshe Rabbeinu.
I'll tell you why you're making another mistake.
Another mistake.
Baruch Hashem, today have a good day. One mistake after the other.
Ask him how long.
I'll tell you what. Why people don't learn today Torah?
Even at that time.
No. Today, why?
But they don't know.
They're busy with greed, business, money, meetings. Now, if according to you, everyone will trust Hashem and will not work, what will they do? Learn Torah. What do they need CDs for? They'll be all in yeshivot.
Why two brothers there? One was not learning Torah because of what? Because he was a
One was a businessman.
yeah, and he, if you remember, you know better than me, that
He went on a boat,
Moshe Rabbeinu mentioned him first, and the Torah.
Right. Supporter of Torah.
But one supported is having even a higher priority in the blessing. It's the Rashi comments, not mine, not yours. Also, Yaakov doing the same thing to the same tribes as you remember.
But why you need to support Torah? If people have confidence in Hashem, they will not agree to receive money from you. If a person knows Hashem is going to take care of me 100%, why do I need your help for? All the receiving of donation come in a way from lack of faith.
So the tribe of Israel, the one of the tribes,
Yes.
is not enough, having not emunah, but he is blessed by the Moshe Rabbeinu. The Shimon was not
Avraham
blessed.
Avinu say to Sarah, say you my sister. Moshe Rabbeinu threw the cane, it became snake, he ran away from the snake. The greatest people in the history didn't have 100% faith. 98, 95, only Hashem knows. It's almost not human to get to 100%. You know what it means 100%? That you hear Hashem telling you, Michael, get on a new building that they build in downtown and jump. And don't worry, before you get to the floor, I'll put my hand and save you. And you run. And you jump, not 1 second of hesitation. That's 100% emunah. How many people would jump? I promise you, I can put over there 50,000 rabbis that their beards sweep the floor. Maybe 5 will jump.
It's foolish to, if you know one.
If you know for sure Hashem promised you He's going to save you, you'll still be afraid to jump. Reality, I don't think Hashem expects us to have 100% emunah. He knows our limitation. The problem is we don't even do 10% of what we can. It's like a muscle. There's a limit how much your muscle can be, right? It can't be 5 feet. It can be, 20 inches, 30, I don't know. But it cannot be from here to the other side of this shul. There's a limit, right? The same thing over here. Everyone has a potential to what he can get. The problem is that the people don't work on it. And all their life they live with fear, what's going to be? What's going to be? I tell you, I'm giving you an example from myself. I remember when I was a teenager, my father was standing, after he came from work, standing by the rail. In Israel, you have the rail. You stand over there, you look at the street, every night for at least 2 hours thinking. I asked him, what are you thinking about? He said, I'm worried how your sister is going to get married. I said, why? He said, she's such a shy girl. She can't even talk to anyone. How is she ever going to go on a date? How is she ever going to talk to a man? It bothers me very much. Me as a kid, I used to tell him, from now you're already thinking what's going to happen 10 years from now. Why are you killing yourself from thoughts? In the end, she got the best shidduch. Everything worked out beautiful. Better than you can imagine, bli ayin hara. So I keep reminding my father until today, remember the years you burned? Standing by the rail, worry for nothing. And he's thinking, I burned so many hours of my life. What is the worry helping? What does it help? Sit for hours and thinking. All day. What's going on? I'm nervous. I'm ready to kill someone. Some people say, Rabbi, I have to go. I have to leave the yeshiva now for a week. What? My father is sick. I have to go. What do you mean you go? So I have to go to the hospital. They say, what, you a doctor? Learn Torah for his soul to get saved. So you can help him from here much more than sitting in a hospital outside doing nothing. Going to the coffee machine, speaking to people, coming back. You're learning Torah. If you do nothing, of course, go sit in a hospital, read Tehillim. You're inside the yeshiva, you want to live the only chance your father has and go and waste it? It says like this. ותיתן לי מגן אישך וימינך תסעדני. He's talking about the nation of Israel. that trust Hashem and hide under His wings as protection. Tov lachasot be'Hashem mibtoach ba'adam. Better to trust Hashem than to trust people. Al tivtechu b'nedivim מבין אדם שאין לו תשועה, תצא רוחו ישוב לאדמתו. Don't trust generous people. Now they are standing, and in the next minute, their spirit would leave their body, and they go to the ground. Meaning, to trust stingy people, everybody knows my salvation won't come from this stingy guy. But that guy is very generous. He has good heart. I'm counting on him to help me. So Tehillim say, even generous people you cannot rely on. Why? How do you know he's going to be alive when you need him? Yeah, today is alive, tomorrow is not. And things can happen, it can change in a minute. So the answer is, if you trust people, still something can go wrong. But if you train yourself only to trust Hashem, you will never have anything goes wrong. With Hashem, chas v'shalom, nothing bad can happen. I just want to show you a few more sources before we finish. Chazal say, there's nothing in life that you cannot find a root for it in the Torah. Maybe not clearly, but by a hint, you can find. No? So, where do we find confidence in Hashem in the Torah? That's a good question. Show me the source. The answer, there are many, many places in the Torah that shows the obligation of the human being to trust Hashem. One is, ויהי אחר הדברים האלה והאלוקים ניסה את אברהם. Hashem tested Abraham. He gave him a son after 99 years of wait and pain and frustration. Finally, he gave him a kid, and now he say, please take him and kill him. It's a very big test. Abraham had no question asked, ran to perform. Hashem say, don't leave man for tomorrow. You have what to eat today, enjoy it today. Tomorrow, I can help you the same way I helped you today. Don't save. Trust me that when you will need it again, you will have it again and again and again and again and again forever. We find that a person that Hashem gave him enough to eat today and put half of it for tomorrow, today Hashem doesn't perform such clear miracles like the generation of the desert. The miracles are hidden. Back then, the next day all became worms, as the Torah described. People who left man in a jar for tomorrow was full of worms. Today, a person puts it in a fridge. By tomorrow, it will still be fresh. The only problem that this person doesn't know, that tomorrow Hashem wanted to send you the same amount like yesterday, but since you left half for tomorrow, He sent you nothing. So you're actually fighting against yourself. Many people make X amount of money, 20, 30% of them, they need it. Right now they need it. They cut from what they need now to leave money for 20 years from now. What's going to be? And in the end, Madoff come and takes everything. So in the end, they're not enjoying now because they don't have enough for what they need. He needs to buy tefillin, he buys the cheapest one. Why? He's worried. He doesn't want to eat from his savings. He needs to take a cab to get to the Shiur Torah fast. He waits 3 hours to take buses to save $10. Why? But you lost the whole hour of Torah. But I need money, my daughter will get married. How old is your daughter? 3 days old. You know what's funny? That you're all laughing, and we all like that. That's what's funny. We laugh at that like, oh, that doesn't apply to me. You know how they say, you! Everyone turns around. Why are you turning around? It could be you. You're hoping it's someone behind you. So it says like this. Hashem say to Avraham Avinu, after all the weight, the wealth you gain, leave everything here, lech lecha, go to a new place and start from zero. Not one question is asked. Hashem, why? I'm 75 years old. I put all my life here. Finally, I established myself. Can you reconsider? It's a shame. What, I'm going to start from zero again? It's not so simple. I'm telling you today, and it's recorded, if tomorrow morning we will hear on CNN, before Hashem will wipe them out, and the BBC before them, we will hear on the CNN, breaking news from Jerusalem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go to Joe Tucker in Jerusalem. What's going on, Joe? Something is happening here behind the Western Wall. The mountain is breaking, water are coming, there's a flood here, lots of police, Israeli helicopters. There's a rumor here that someone is coming down from the mountain. He's dressed very special. We're waiting to see what's going on. All of a sudden, big noise of shofar, siren. They will go crazy. The Messiah arrived. So now, before it will happen, Eliyahu Hanavi will send an email to all the communities in Brooklyn and Great Neck and Queens and Dallas. I just came from Dallas. All over the world, Paris, London. Dear brothers and sisters, the salvation begins. Please come to Israel. Right away, the president of the community will say, dear Mashiach, dear Eliyahu Hanavi, how much you need for the building of Bet HaMikdash? How much? I didn't ask you for money. I want all of you to come now to Israel. But it cannot be, Mashiach. I have 10 buildings in Manhattan. Give me a year to sell. I can't sell from today to tomorrow. I'm gonna get killed on a price. How many people would leave everything, take whatever they can take on them, and move now to Israel? You'll do it even before the Mashiach comes. It doesn't count.
Eliyahu Hanavi cannot send emails. He's supposed to be busy with the blowing shofar. I would like to remind you.
I have a lecture in my website, Email from God.
God, not Eliyahu Hanavi. God, not Eliyahu Hanavi.
Dude, I actually will prove to you that you're wrong. In the Gemara, when there is two opinions in the Gemara,
Who's going to be the Mashiach?
when there's two opinions in the Gemara, and in the end they finish the argument even, tie, no side could prove his side. They say teko. Teko means,
Unresolved.
Unresolved.
Leave it for Eliyahu.
yes, even score.
Leave it for Eliyahu.
What does it mean teko? Taf, Yud, Kuf, Vav, Tishbi, יתרץ קושיות ובעיות. Tishbi, it's Eliyahu Hanavi. Tishbi, when Eliyahu Hanavi would come, he will answer this question. I have a question to you. Why Eliyahu Hanavi? It's an insult to Moshe Rabbeinu. He was much bigger than Eliyahu Hanavi, and he's the one who gave the Torah. The Torah called, not Torat Eliyahu, Torat Moshe. Moshe is the founder. Why Moshe? When Mashiach comes, Moshe Rabbeinu will come. Resurrection of the dead, no? So why it doesn't say in the Gemara, Moshe will answer all the questions? Why Eliyahu? Why not Rabbi Akiva? It was also bigger than Eliyahu Hanavi in Torah. Why not? There's many big ones. Why not Yeshaya? Why not Yirmiyah? Oh, so many. Cheskel. What's special about Eliyahu? Very good. Because Eliyahu Hanavi got a punishment. After he spoke a little Lashon Hara about the Jewish nation, Hashem said, I would show you how much devotion they have to circumcise their baby, even though you have to cut and blood, and the women are fainting in the back. But they run and they do this mitzvah. From now on, you have to participate in every Brit Milah. Now, the first Brit Milah was in a tent with candles. Now he comes to Brit Milah in Beverly Hills. He see iPhones, he see all these things. Eliyahu Hanavi said, wow, the world is progressing. Which means Eliyahu Hanavi saw all the generation, and I promise you know how to send an email. You see, I got you.
He's busy with blowing the shofar, according to the whole scenario Mashiach coming. I didn't say he doesn't know.
No, it's a shofar. It's shofar automatic. You go like this.
No, it's
You go once, and it goes forever.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I tell you something. The Arabs, every morning they scream from the mosque, Allahu Akbar, right? So now, the Israelis, they say, wow, 5 o'clock, this Mustafa comes to the mosque and start to sing like this, 5 o'clock. One day the Israeli soldiers came to the place to see who is the guy who sings. What did they see? A timer with a tape. It turns on the tape. The Israelis say, you're snoring in bed and you put a tape here. They took out the tape, they put a tape, Israeli singer named Rita. Tomorrow morning, she started to sing Persian music. All the Arabs go crazy. A woman sings in the village. You understand? In case you forgot, Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, that started the Hamas, his head got blown out by the Israeli helicopter after he finished to pray 5 a.m. And he was on a wheelchair, this murderer. For me, it was a big lesson for life. A monster, nothing better than Hitler, such a cruel monster, such a person that the dirtiest you can think of, 5 o'clock in the morning on his wheelchair, finished to pray to God. And I don't want to tell you what time, I'm embarrassed to say. No, there's a shtibel. Every 15 minutes minyan. Already evening already. Still putting tefillin. Rabbi, I know it's 6 o'clock. Can I still put tefillin today? If I wouldn't be embarrassed, I said, let me give you Ahmed Yassin's email. Ask him.
Before the sunset, he can do it.
He can do it, of course.
Before the sunset, he can do it.
Of course.
Better than not to put the tefillin today. At least he can do the mitzvah.
Rabbi, quick question. What's the proper mindset for Rosh Hashanah based on what you said?
Huh?
What is the proper mindset on Rosh Hashanah based on what you just said tonight? Should a person fear for the year because he did a lot of sins? Or say Hashem is going to take care of me anyway, so I'll become home?
Rosh Hashanah, it's actually Gilu Bir'ada. That's the concept of Rosh Hashanah. Shake, fear, at the same time it's a holiday. You understand? Now, I have one question before we finish. The introduction. One question. If confidence in Hashem is the most important thing in life, how is it not one of the 613 commandments? There's a list. There's a list. Why there's no mitzvah? Every Jew must have confidence in Hashem every second of his life, all his life.
First, it's not a physical act. It's not a physical act. And mitzvah is always about.
The answer is because all the mitzvot and everything else in life born out of this obligation, confidence in Hashem. There's nothing you can do. You keep Shabbat, you have confidence in Hashem, you close your business, you don't go to work. You eat only kosher, you pay double, confidence in Hashem. You buy tefillin, you pay $1,000, confidence in Hashem. You get up early in the morning to go to pray instead of go making money, confidence in Hashem. Everything. You're honest in the business, confidence in Hashem. You walk in the street with yarmulke and 5,000 Mustafas around you, confidence in Hashem. So everything is somehow confidence in Hashem. Where do you see it? Habakkuk, Navi, Habakkuk, E'emidam alachat. They ask Habakkuk, in one sentence say the whole Torah, one sentence. Tzadik be'emunato ichyeh. A righteous Jew would live, not here, life of eternity, be'emunato. Every time the Torah and the prophets speaking about the word life, It's only life of eternity. Don't ever make that mistake and think it's life over here. Because over here, nobody lives. Everyone is dying here. From the minute we are born, we begin to die. The body doesn't live. The body is like a piece of plastic. Bunch of molecules. The body has no life. It's just a cover of the soul. But the soul is alive. But the Torah says, if you're going to listen to me and keep my mitzvot, you will live. Meaning right now when you chiloni, when you don't keep the mitzvot, you are dead. Spiritually, not physically. Physically, the dog is also alive. People that worship idols, they're alive. All the crooks, all the murderers, all the rapists, all the terrorists, they're alive, they dance, they eat. What is this? This is life? Hashem says, if you're going to listen to me, you would live. Meaning for eternity. You're not going to get destroyed in a horrible place. Why? Because you follow my instruction. And this is what Habakkuk say, Tzadik be'emunato yichyeh. In Israel, the secular Jews have a very tricky trick. What do they say when you argue with them? Everybody almost the same thing. Rabbi, you be religious, we'll be whatever we want. You live, let us live, we let you live. Leave us alone. Don't preach to us. כפייה דתית. איש באמונתו יחיה. They changed the verse a little bit. איש באמונתו יחיה. איש. איש means a man. Anyone. Arafat is also איש. איש באמונתו יחיה. But the Torah doesn't say איש. Torah says tzaddik באמונתו יחיה. איש will not live. Depend what kind of איש he is. You understand? איש באמונתו יחיה. The Torah, I'm giving you another example. Where does it say in the Torah about confidence? The Torah say, כי תאמר בלבבך, you may think, רבים הגויים האלה ממני. How can I win against all these goyim who wants to kill me? 1.8 billion Muslims, 90% of them extremely anti-Semites, hate Jews, wants to see all Jews dead. That's a fact. You don't believe me? Check the report of the United Nations from a month and a half or 2 months ago. 90-something% of the Arabs in the surveys in the world, in all the countries, except Morocco, that it was 80-something%, but almost in all the Arab countries, 90% and up of the Arabs say that they hate Jews. Even Arabs that admitted they never saw one Jew in their life, face to face. From the brainwash. From the brainwash, from age 0, they already constantly brainwash them, the Jews. He thinks the Jew is a mission to destroy him. So the answer is, Hashem say, you may come and say, how can I handle so many of these goyim? We are so small and we don't even have a serious army back then. How can I go against 7 empires in the land of Israel? In the land of Israel. Where is the tissue here? Thank you. Thank you. How can I do? How can I go against this massive amount of goyim? The answer is, don't be afraid of them at all. I will fight for you, and you sit still and see the miracles that I'm going to do to you. And what does it say? If you go to a war and you see massive amount of horses, much more than you, lo tira mehem. Trust me, don't be afraid. Trust me. We see that Hashem warned us. When there's a tragedy in front of you, you don't have permission to worry or to be afraid. You have to have trust in Him. The rest is not in your hand. But definitely not to be afraid. What does it say here? תהיה ישועת השם בלבבו ויפתח עליה, שנאמר אך קרוב ליראיו ישעו. Those who fear Him, the salvation is closer to them than others. מי את ותראי מאנוש ימות. Another place in the Torah. Be very careful not to gain all kinds of properties and gold and silver and horses. And maybe you think that thanks to your talent you made all this wealth. Be very careful not to forget that I am your God is the one who gave you the talent and power to make all this success. Don't dare to take credit for yourself, even 1% credit. Because even 1% you didn't do. I did everything for you. I'm giving you today homes full of wealth that you did not build. Wells full of water that you did not dig. Everything that I'm giving you, you did not prepare. Eat, be full, enjoy. Just remember who gives you all that. Don't get fatter and fatter, metaphoric, not literally fatter. If fat, you can still have confidence in Hashem. Relax. Don't get fatter and fatter, meaning another home and another business and another one and another. And you, Shamanta Avita Kasita, V'Shavaito Sheloha. It will lead you to forget me. Which means we see there's 100 places at least in the Torah speaking about faith, emunah, and confidence in Hashem. Moshe picks up the hands. The nation of Israel looks up, they win the war. When their eyes is up to Hashem, the war turn right into victory. When they're not, right away they begin to lose. People that worry about wealth, parnasa. Rabbi, who's gonna pay my bills? You? Guess how many times I heard that? No, give a guess.
Millions.
Thousands.
And the answer is?
To you, Mr. Murray. Hashem will pay the bills.
It says like this. You know what? It just reminded me a story. We'll finish with that story. We will have to do another lecture about it because there's still a lot more things to talk about this. But here, I'm closing the book so you can relax. Now one story and you go home with a smile. Story that happened to me. When was September 11? What year? 2000? 2000. So this story was approximately year 2000. So about 14, 15 years ago. My friend used to own a restaurant in Queens Boulevard. It's called, back then it was Pita House. In the beginning, it was Habayit. Then he turned it into Pita House. While it was still Habayit, when it was just open for a few months, I used to be a businessman back then. So they made me a meeting with Menashe, the owner of the restaurant. Temani, Yemenite Jew, Israeli. When two Israelis meet in business, you know how it is. See it? It's not only business, right away you become buddies. Now I come to his restaurant, not one customer there. Empty, all the chairs. I'm talking to him now. I have to convince him to put credit card service in his restaurant that customer can pay with a credit card. But my heart does not let me fool him. I see he doesn't have any customers in the restaurant. Now I'm going to lock him in 4 years contract, payments. So I'm saying to him, you know what, I don't think it's good for you. You have to pay and this, and I don't see that you're busy. He said to me, why do you think I call you? I want the credit card to bring me new customers. So it switched around. I'm convincing him not to take the service, and he's convincing me to take the service. Okay. But there's one guy over there, another Yemenite guy, married to American Ashkenazi lawyers, immigration lawyer. He sits there with big Israeli newspaper like this, cups of coffee all over, drinks coffee there all day and speaks Lashon Hara. Then there's two twin brothers, Israeli, they live upstairs in the building. They also come, they borrow things, they drink coffee. Basically nobody eats there. And now, when you do a deal with somebody that doesn't speak so much English, you become his wife, whether you like it or not. Everything he needs, he calls you. tell me what's this word means, what's this, how do you change papers? You can't tell him call customer service. No. One day, I say to him, you know what, I have an idea. Maybe I will start give lectures in your restaurant. Listen to this story, talking about emunah and parnasah.
I know the story.
So I say to him,
Food's good, you didn't know that?
I say to him, maybe I'll start giving lectures in your restaurant. And plus he had a video and television. So maybe I bring a video cassette. I tell the twins, bring some of your friends. We'll make it an evening. He say, after 10, I don't mind. Okay. We started to give, I put videos there. People started to come. They watch lectures. In the meantime, customers begin to come to the restaurant. All of a sudden, it woke up to life. One day, I see a table with 4 Israeli guys. I see 4 Chilonim, like a magnet. I join the table. We begin to talk. I remember their faces. 3 of the faces I still remember like it was yesterday. The 4th one, for some reason. But I'm talking to them. What are you doing? They say, we are collectors. I say, collectors for what? We collect the money from the poker machines. One boss, Israeli mafiosa, he owned poker machines in many of the pizza shops and delis all over New York. People come play poker. If they win, the owner pays them. If they lose, the money is in the machine. And that's how they make $60,000 a week cash. Back then, 15 years ago, double it today. And those are the guys who go and collect the money. First of all, it's a dangerous job because they go to some bad neighborhoods with so much cash, but they make a lot of money. I asked them, what day you make the collection? Shabbat. Of course, the Satan arranged it on Shabbat. I said to him, why, you cannot do it Sunday? He said, no, Shabbat is the day. I said, but there's no blessing on Shabbat. Why are you working on Shabbat? I began to give him a speech about Shabbat. One guy said to his friend, you know what? Maybe we'll convince the owner to change the day. All of us together. He said, hey, he won't agree. Forget it. You don't want to mess with this guy. He said, no, if we all together stick with that, he cannot afford to lose all of us in one day. So I'm beginning to instigate between them and him. Tov. They say, you know what? We're going to stop working on Shabbat. Tov. A few days later, I come to the restaurant. I see a guy standing outside, leather jacket. Back then, there was no cell phones. Only very rich people had big cell phones installed in their car, integral. Not like today, one has a little box in his pocket. That's how it was. But they started to have phones that detached from the car, which was already like more than $1,000 a piece back then. So I see he has 2 phones, one in this pocket, one here. Right away, I know he's standing, he looks at me, he says, you Mizrachi? I say, yes. Grab me here. Where was the car? Queens Boulevard. Push me like this to the car. Listen carefully. In Hebrew, yes. Stop talking to my guys about Shabbat and about your religion. You're making me problems in my business. I said to him, what's the problem? Let them collect in another day. Why does it have to be on Shabbat? What, you're not a Jew? So he said to me, it's not in your business. None of your business. You don't tell me how to run my business. I'm warning you. It's not a request. It's threatening me. One more word, you're going to talk to them, you're going to hear from me. You'll regret it. So I say to him, why? Why you insist so much to do it on Shabbat? What do you care they collect another day? Listen, don't get on my nerve. He's getting angry. He said to me, who's going to pay them their salary? You? That's what reminded me about the story. So I said to him, who pays them the salary right now? You? Now I'm thinking, don't think I'm such a brave guy. But I know I'm in Queens Boulevard. Hundreds of people walk there next to me. What is he going to do? Beat me up on the street? I call Tony, Vinny, come here, help. So I'm a hero on the street. We'll be in a closed room, maybe I'll speak differently. So now, I said to him, who pays them their salary right now? You? He said, of course me. Who? You? I said, no, him. Leave me alone with your nonsense. I said to him, listen, don't be a hero. You get him angry, he will close your nostrils for 1 minute, you'll fall on the street dead. Be careful. He can take away everything you have. Don't mess with your... Listen, I'm not here to talk to you. I just gave you the warning. That's it. And he left. So, that was the end of part 1 of the movie. Next week, part 2.
Funeral.
One day, I get a call. One day, there is a Hanukkah party. Oh. They tell me there is a club before September 11. So the twins, there is on the border of Brooklyn and Manhattan, by the water, there was a big club with nice view in the neighborhood. They say to me, there is a Hanukkah party. You come, you speak over there. There'll be 300 people. You know, music and food. I said, okay. So I went to that place. I come inside, I sit in a table, Chilonim, religious people, very nice big Hanukkah party. All of a sudden, my friend said to me, I want you to meet the owner. Who comes? The guy with the 2 phones. He comes and says, meet. I'm not saying his name. I don't know where he is today, but it took me a few seconds to realize this is the guy. It's been a while after. Now I'm shaking a hand with the guy who wanted to kill me that day. Okay. I'm thinking to myself, is he recognizing me? And he probably thinks, does he recognize me? You know. And I'm thinking to myself, Hashem, what, my word is worth nothing for you? You made him even more rich now. Now he has this club. Back then he only had a poker machine. Now he got this beautiful big club. So Tom, Hashem has his plans. Few more months later, I get a call, a girl on the phone. Never saw her face ever in my life. It was one phone call of 10 minutes. Hello, shalom. I heard that maybe you know guys who are becoming religious. Maybe you can find me shidduch. I say, who are you? My name is such and such. What do you do? I'm a waitress. Where do you work? In a restaurant in Brooklyn. But maybe, by the way, you can also find me a job. I said, why? You're quitting? She said, no, my owner is going bankrupt, so he's closing his restaurant. So she said to me, I said to her, that's it. She said, yeah, my owner having such rough time. He had that big club. You heard about that club? She tells me the name of that club. And now he owns this Japanese restaurant. He invested $1 million here. Everything he ever made, he lost now. And that's it. We have maybe a week or two, and the business will be closed, and I'll be out of the job. So what I told him happened. I told him, don't get Hashem angry. He'll close your parnasa. Wiped him out. All the 60,000 a week for years. Everything he invested here and here, Hashem took away everything. I have no doubt that that's because of that conversation. Because what difference does he have to make them go on a different date? What difference does it make where you open the machine and take the cash? You cannot do it Tuesday, Wednesday. You have to do it on Shabbat. And a Yemenite guy that I'm willing to swear that his grandfather was a Mori in Teman. Because all the grandfathers in Teman was Moris and tzaddikim and learning Torah. So he's not somebody who grew up in a kibbutz or in Zimbabwe and never saw Torah. Either his parents or his grandparents for sure were religious. Because all Yemenites were religious. All Temanim were religious. There's no such thing Chiloni in the land of Teman. Until today, remember what I said. From the time the first Jews arrived to Yemen about 2,500 years ago, until today, never in a history of Yemen there was one Mechalel Shabbat in Yemen, ever. Until today. Not even one. Why? They didn't have iPhones. No internet, no television, no fancy cars. Saadia on a donkey, you know, Melawach, Fatut, Gemara. What did they have in life over there? Torah and simple lifestyle. No show off, none of this nonsense. But the Yemenites of today who made some millions, Jaguar, Ferrari, who's gonna pay them? You? His grandfather was willing to die for Hashem. And he is doing everything he can to get Hashem angry. One or two generations later. But in the end, סוף דבר הכל נשמע, את האלוקים ירא ואת מצוותיו שמור. Run a little bit faster, כי זה כל האדם. In the end, everything will be heard. Shlomo HaMelech say, cannot run away from Hashem. Now, one announcement I want to make. תביא לי את זה רגע. I want to make one announcement. יש עוד מקומות? יש? I want to make one announcement. We have a beautiful Shabbaton, as you can see right here.
When?
Oh, now let me read to you the details, because I also want people on a video to know. There's an important speaker come from Eretz Israel, famous, Rabbi Rachmiel Kram, and myself, and the great singer and rabbi from here, Yochai Cohen. We're having a Shabbaton in a luxurious hotel, Crown Plaza in New Jersey. Right here, the two gentlemen that are organizing it. You can speak to them right now about it. And the telephone number to call, it's 646-637-4100 or 718-666-2369. The date of that is February, what is it? February 20 to February 22nd. From Friday to Sunday in a hotel with wonderful organization and food and lots of good lectures in English and in Hebrew. Sign up before you won't have room. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.